On a Saturday in Yongin, it is time for a decisive second round of the inaugural K-Food Nolboo Hwami Masters. We are live from the 88 Country Club, where the weather gods are being much kinder to us today. Look at that. A little blue sky peeking out over the mountains here in the Gyeonggi region of this great golfing nation. 54 holes of stroke play in this inaugural tournament, the newest addition to the calendar on the KLPGA Tour. Yesterday, it was quite the logjam by the end of the round. Very little separation at the top of the leaderboard, and while it's still tight, there is at least a bit more of a pecking order being established here on Saturday. 4 under had been the score to beat when we signed off the air yesterday. It's where we now find Sun Eugene. By the time the last golfer exited the course, there were 5 co-leaders. Hong Jung-min was one of them, Kwon So-yeon, Yoo Hyun-jo, Ie-won, and So Gyo-ri. A lot of those players took care of business in the morning. And as we begin with, well, a bottleneck at the 10th tee, and on the first tee as well, back nines getting underway. Jung Joo-ri, unfortunately, has struggled. Certainly yesterday, she shot a 77. She is even at the turn. She needs to make up at least 2 strokes. The projected cut currently is at +3. So +4 or higher wouldn't cut it. No pun intended. Kim Soo-ji, she is at 1 under. That's a tie for 24th position. She shot a +137 on the way out. This is PGA 3 at +7 after 27 holes. +77 in the opening round, +2 on the front 9. Let's head over to 10 with Park Bo-gyeong. 71 in her opening round. She is already at 2 under. Unfortunately for her, from the rough, was not able to clear the fringe. Looks though like putter is still the club she wants to play next. Choi Lim at +6. Needs 3 on the back 9. Well, that group is underway. That will ease some of the line at 10. Sung Eugene already having matched what she was able to do yesterday at 2 under, and today it took her just 9 holes. This is her second on the par 5 10th. Just a hybrid out of the rough, back to the fairway. Cheonu, big eagle for her yesterday. It's been a question of consistency. She's going to play 5 wood, 292. Her uphill second shot. This is more like it for Buck Bogyum, starting to drift over now. Downhill after the hole. It'll be slightly uphill. Next second shot on 10 ends up in the rough, left of the fairway. Great opportunity to get some refreshments and some snacks. I mean, when you have two very well-known and incredibly successful food and services sponsors, you'd expect to have some good treats out on the course. One more reason to head out to support the KLPGA Tour today. Over to 11, Pak Ju-young. He was a little bit off that putt, trying to move to 5 under. Two putts gets her there for the par. Now Chegabin. Left to right breaking putt, hangs on just enough. Nervy but successful putt that bears fruit. Approach time, high in the air, lofted wedge.
That's it.
That'll settle nicely. Nice on. Using the opportunity whilst waiting for an opening slot down the fairway to just ensure the yardage is set and the club is selected. Sung Eugene, it's officially 153. Pins in the back right corner today. Pretty close to pin height. Serviceable. Chenu, 116 after 2 strokes here at 10. See if she has better luck finding the corner. Just inside the fringe. In fact, it might have kissed the fringe before popping out onto the green. Definition of a great drive. Be done in slightly right of center, right down the middle. Kim Soo-ji, last in the group to approach. Well, she wanted the back right corner, that's what she got. Up on the fringe, likely a putting situation there. Chunye's sung, this is for 3 under, but a bit too quick. There's Pei So-hyun. 286. Just inside the cart path. And Sung Eugene for 5 under. She'll have to work for this one. Her distance was spot on. If there was to be a miss, it's good that it was there. Chenu left a few centimeters. It's a tap in par. downhill, lots of left to right break. Tough nut to crack. Well, pars are in vogue right now. She does indeed choose to putt Kim Soo-ji. Gave herself a bit too much to the outside, and that probably carried a full meter or so more than she would have wanted it to. Just like that, 17 minutes in the books on a Saturday afternoon in Yongin. Yoo Hyun-jo is our leader. Shi, Park Hae-jun, Lee Dong, and Ea-won. We are all waiting for their back nines to get underway. A couple of them have taken their first few shots, but over the course of the next 3 hours, we'll have lots to watch as the K-Food Nolboo Hwami Masters continues at the 88.
shot! 안녕하세요. 천안망통고 1학년 김하은입니다. 이번 대회는 온그린을 많이 시켜서 퍼터로 좋은 성적을 한번 내보겠습니다. 화이팅!
죽어있는 라인까지는 어차피 튕겨서 나가거든.
하나야 수고해.
얘기 좀 잘 해줘. set up on. No.
끝. 이렇게 쳐야 되는 건가요?
여기를 막
샷. 샷.
좋아. 소리. 아우. 자.
tailwinds on one hole, calm on the next. An evolving set of conditions. 6 iron for you, Lee. Swung herself out of her heels. Just enough to get on.
시작하겠습니다.
Now EA1. Still starting last after the bogey, though she is slowly returning to form. She's closest to the pin. This maybe she's turned the corner. Joe. One from back from Hwami. Now that might change in a few moments here. A little lift and open to downhill. Slide to the green. Or as the rest. This side of the leader. She tapped it twice, but next. One. Protected cut has gone up. Now you need to be at +2 to have a crack at making the final round tomorrow. That is 10 strokes off the leader, though. Hong Jung-min now at 8 under par. And in a really good run of form right now, hoping to build a bit of a gap from the chasing pack here in Yonggi. We'll take a quick break and come back with more of the K-Food Nolboo Hwami Masters in just a few moments. We'll just pass the midway mark of our second round coverage of the K-Food Nolboo Hwami Masters. 3:38 p.m. local time in Yongin. Here's a good way to restart the proceedings. First opportunity at a birdie, and the first birdie made. 1 for 1, and Hong Jung-min will hope that that is a trend that will soon continue. Here is Lee Dong-eun to tie the lead. What a putt, and what a view of it. Count them all up. That is 6 through 14 holes. 4 to go, and it is once again co-leaders, barring Hong Jung-min going back to back, trying to reach 9 under par. And just a bit too much. Left to right break from our vantage point, right to left from her perch above the pin. So she has some company at that top spot. Now Sogyo Reem plays that like a line drive. Goes to about 15 centimeters short of the pin. But up and down for par, that was the primary objective, and it's what she's done. Should just be a formality here for Hong Jung-min, but it will move. Type of putt she could make in her sleep, but important nevertheless. Basically has to traverse the entire width of this green. It's uphill as well. All things considered, where she was initially approaching that birdie putt, she'll take that. .3 meters for EA1. That should have been the putt to get her back in the birdie column. But alas, she'll have to settle for par once again. Puzzling one. Over to 14, Park Jun. Just look how challenging this pin is today. So much downhill and a front located pin. Stretches the imagination, that's for sure. And Sung Eugene to stay at 3 under. All right, the green is clear, and Hong Jung-min is now able to begin. Depth-wise, right on the money, but she's on the wrong side of the putting surface. Yoo Hyun-jo will go next. She's at 7 under and is holding a 7-iron. Same side as Hong Jung-min. Essentially identical tee shots. Now Lee Dong-eun at 15, playing 178 meters. So that means 5-iron, and in some rare instances, maybe a hybrid or two. Goes down towards the back. Well, So-hyun, it's been a quiet day at times today, hasn't it? At 3 under. It's 1 stroke outside of the top 10. Only 1 under for the round after her 2 under performance to begin this tournament. Also goes to the center. June sailing across the green, only to tap in to finalize the score. Well, Hong Jung-min with an opportunity to go to 9 under, but unfortunately for her, she failed to capitalize on the 12th. Still a third of the round to go, though. Lee Dong-eun is 6 under for the day, and it's up to everyone else to try to keep pace with her. Time for another break. More on the other side from the 88 Country Club on the KLPGA Tour. So as we near the top of the clock, the action resumes. And this is certainly the group to watch right now. Hong Jung-min, a co-leader. On the prowl as well, though, is So-gyo Reem. She's 2 strokes back now with a handful of holes to play. This tricky downhill par 4 14th, the front-located pin. You almost need to grab just a titch of the rough there to be well within tap-in range, but that's easier said than done, I know. It's 7.4 meters for Hong Jung-min. Some left to right break. Been off a bit more than she could chew after the tee shot. Now EA1, 109 meters. It'll play like less than 100. And that's what she tried to do, to be fair. Grab a little bit of that rough and pop up the front, but when you're grabbing more than just a little, you're basically stuck there. Lee Dong-eun, 7.5 away. Close to perfection. Yulin now. 100 meters on the nose. Best of the lot. Closest to the pin after 2 strokes. A 2-putt par. .140 to go, Sung Yoon-jin. It's a very nice on. So now EA1, the delicate up and down. Just a little pitch right on the line. So close to perfection. Dong-eun steadies herself. Three holes to go. 10 under, very much a possibility. Trying not to be greedy, of course. She has already put in quite the shift. Sogyo Reem downhill, but didn't strike it nearly firm enough. One more punt required. And we, in the meantime, will head to 14, one of my personal favorite views on the course. Behind the tee blocks at 14, Yoo Hyun Jo has the honor. It sounded good, and I think it's going to pass the eye test as well. Yes, indeed. Right into the fairway. Sung Eugene, she's looking for 4 under. It's not going to come here at 16. Yulin also underhits this one. Park Jun 4 iron. That's a heck of a lot of club, but it's a long 178-meter par 3. A little more left and she would have called that perfect. And just enough momentum. Gets all the way, and that is a sigh of relief. Hangs on for her par. The par theme continues. EA1 is able to avoid any further damage to her score. And Yulin makes it 3 for 3. And from off the green, a workable spot for par. Can't say she didn't go after it. Only 92 meters left for Hong Jung-min after that powerful drive. Stays close to the front of the green. That'll be about a dozen or so. Back towards the right edge. From an ideal lie to anything but for Lee Dong-eun. Trying to dig this out of the rough. 128 meters, but it's 10 meters uphill. Ball's about 2 feet below her stance. She's got branches to worry about in the backswing. This will be curious. Well, fair is fair. All credit to her for finding the green from an undesirable situation. .79 meters for Yoo Hyun Jo, and that is near perfect. It's what so many have tried to do, and so many have been unable to do. .123 for Bae So Hyun. Outside look at a birdie coming up next. And one of the shots of the afternoon so far. Full value for that setup, and birdie seems destined. Hong Jung-min, she comes close to her 9 under. Baek June, perhaps the graphics operator's curse, haunting her par save proficiency this season, but she'll be saddled with a bogey. Yoo-Hyun Jo for 8 under. She rocked back on her heels, and the crowd was ready to roar. Her patience is being tested. It's a par. Lee Dong-eun towering over the hole. She's already had one of these almost incomprehensible makes. Comes close to doing it again. Managing that putter oh so well. Next group to come through the 15th. Tee shot to the back left corner.
네, 알겠습니다.
The next is starts, and equally away for the putts. Back left corner, front green with the back right pin placement. We'll see how they fare shortly. Pae So-hyun almost able to record another birdie. She has been fighting it a little bit today. A drive to the uphill fairway. And next, Park Ju-young, her final hole. Essentially 10 meters. Park Ju-young now to finalize the round. It's been a great day for her. Well, 5 under after 36 holes. Look at that scorecard. 5 birdies, a bogey at 9, 34, 34 out and in. That's 68 and at the moment within 3 strokes of the top spot. You see they're tied with Park Jun and EA1, who have 3 and 4 holes remaining respectively. So Gyorim all alone in 4th, 2 strokes back, 2 under for the day as well, and neither Lee Dong-eun or Hong Jung-min able to put a bit of separation to the rest of the fields. Another break, back with more as our second round coverage of the K-Food Nolboo Hwami Masters continues. It's time to get back to work. Final part 3 of the round for EA1 and company. After such a brilliant start to this afternoon, EA1 has certainly cooled off. She is by no means out of it. But she has not been able to gain any ground on Lee Dong-eun and Hong Jung-min. Yulin trying to traverse the green and just about pulling a rabbit out of her hat and coming up with some magic. But as close as you can be without dunking it into the hole, especially with the added complexity of the tailwind. Check this out. Just a marvelous display of the short game. Drifting back right, starting to move a little late. Yes, I would like the flag out, please. Simple tap in, and she's down to 3 holes. Well, Hong Jung-min, a little twirl of the club and the hybrids. The selection out the bag. Struck it too well. Almost at the bleachers behind the green.
엣지가 60, 10이고.
우리 그냥 엣지가 50.
Another case of a bit too much power, and the club selection tells you just about all you need to know about the yardage here on the 15th. Jae-Reem, this is for 2 under, but straightens out at the last moment. One of the young rising stars. Rise up the leaderboard towards P1. I suppose at the moment it's T1. All 3 members of the group going long and stopping on the back fringe. Here goes EA1. It's a nice drive indeed. She's driven well. She is teed off in general well. Or green fairways and regulation, pardon me. It's generally been the average distance of the putt that's been a bit of her undoing today. Checking back in with Idungan, pitching wedge. 103 meters, needs to climb. It needs to sail. It's a really well played approach. Enviable, both of them. Nod of agreement from her caddy as well. Now Hong Jung-min from the green side rough rolls it through and tracking on line, that's gonna go. To 9 under in the most improbable of fashions. Second birdie on the par 3 today, and the first time she's done that from off the green. She owns the outright lead. One more look, 2 skips on the fringe, and then the beautiful turn. Shot of the day for this announcer's money. Well, the bar's been raised for the run-in to the 18th hole. Both figuratively and literally, with a new outright leader.
그거보다 근데 많이 왼쪽이긴 해야 될 것 같은데. 이건 나는 여기서도 좀 세게 이렇게 들어갈 것 같아. 너무 많아. 끝에 가서 내리.
Yu-Hyun Jo. She will be putting from off the green. We've just seen an improbable hole out. Who's to say we can't do it again? curls right at the very end.
하겠습니다.
Well, this shot was taken just as Hong Jung-min was pulling out. You could see EA1 curiously looking towards the hole where the drama was, just as she arrived on the green. Yoo Hyun-jo, meanwhile, settles for a 2-putt par. One from the fringe and one from about a meter and change away. Pitching wedge for Sogyo Reem on the par 4 16th. Ends up in an almost identical position as her group mates. Slightly underhit for Lee Dong-eun. That's unfortunately been a theme for her in the past couple of holes. Hong Jung-min in the home stretch, 16, 17, 18. The run into the finish line. Her drive to the uphill fairway. And a close call, but unfortunately, a miss. She'll have at least one more. So EA1 still has 7.4 meters to go. 4 times out of 5, this does not fall based on the yardage. It's one of those 4 times. Next up at 16 is Yoo Hyun-jo. Drive rolls into the rough. Underhit attempts. Still 20 centimeters to finish off. And the setup shot on 18 rolls through the fringe and within 5 or 6 meters for a final birdie in the round. What is 4:30 p.m. local time in Yongin? Hong Jung-min from off the green made it a one-stroke advantage over Lee Dong-eun. 2 strokes separate the top 3, 9 under, 8 under, and 7 under. 12 players are at least tied inside the top 10, and we're still looking at that +2 mark for our projected cut. All to be finalized in the next 30 to 45 minutes at the 88. And welcome back to the K-Food Nolboo Hwami Masters. Hole 17. Or hole 35. I suppose it depends on your perspective. Both are correct. We're in the home stretch, to put it another way. At the moment, 63 players from 108 in the fields have provisionally punched their ticket to tomorrow's final round. We know Yoo Hyun-jo will be there. How close to the #1 position she will be is still to be determined. Trying to add another top 10 finish to her incredible season. 16 of the 24 events she's played, she has finished in the top 10. It's not quite unheard of, but it's in rarefied air. EA1 blasting it uphill to send her group away. And now Hong Jung-min. Nine iron on the approach. Pin is in the center of the green. She's slightly right of center, but we've seen her make more improbable shots than just that. Sung Eugene will go next. Trying to finish the day at 4 under par. That would be inside the top 10. Can't believe her luck. 70 yesterday, 71 today. It's 141 strokes so far in this tournament. And currently 6 off the lead. Dong-eun, as we take a look at her scorecards, we see that it's undeniably one of the best of the day. We also see that she hasn't birdied since the 14th hole. Now Kim Soo-ji, unable to capitalize on a birdie. She'll finish the round tied for 18th. That's down 9 spots after her opening round 70. She shoots a 72 today. Back to 17, Park Hae-jun is looking for 7 under. She was mindful of how downhill that putt was and not wanting to blast it past. And Hong Jung-min, an outside look at 10 under par, but who's to bet against her? She won't reach double digits under par this time around. Is where she will, or what she will write down in the scorecard after those 2 putts. Yoo Hyun-jo from the rough, hoping to still find a way to birdie. Fortunately for her, it's not to be, at least on this occasion. She found the right area code for the approach there. A little bit off based on her lofty standards, but she can work with that. So Hyun. Good one. Went at the pin. And is rewarded with not a whole lot left. Back to 16. Kwon So-yeon to save a par, otherwise she goes down to 2 under. Just outside of the comfort range. The second shot for A1 was a bit awkward. Could see how she worked her way around it. As a result, she suffers a bit in terms of her precision. Speed and line, the perfect cocktail. Chung Yoon-ji with a birdie at the last to finish the round just outside of the top 10. It's 3 under after 36 holes. Nine iron for So-gyo Reem. What can she do with it? She is on the green with some work still to do. Lee Dong-eun can tie the lead with what she hopes will be her last shot. Unfortunately, that was the theme of the back half of her round. Short putts. She pulled off a couple of them, but gave herself a bit too much to do in the latter stages of this second round. Marvelous shot as the gallery echoes their congratulations for Iyulin. Bae So-hyun. Of all of the looks at birdie in the group, this is by far the closest and therefore the most straightforward. It's for 4 under. A little bit of the announcer's jinx. (17) with So-gyo Reem, just lifting this up, placing it on the green and watching it roll in. On par to end the round, Bae So-hyun goes 70 and 71 through 36 holes, 3 under tied for 13th. And making it look easy. The drought is finally over for EA1, who birdies for the first time since hole number 3. And an understandable smile of relief and excitement as she is back to her birdieing way. Yuki and Joe in the group down to their final 2 holes. Lee Dungen confirming her round, and what a round it was. Bogey free with 6 pickups. She will, depending on how the final couple of holes for Hong Jung-min go, start the round. What she will hope is just 1 stroke back. And she is, of course, always a threat on Sunday. Hong Jung-min has 2 holes left to build a little padding. Otherwise, she keeps things good and interesting. Yulin also back in the birdie column, 5 under now. Give her 3 on the day. 3 on the front, pardon me, 1 on the back, 4. She is on pace for a 70 in round number 2. Well, of the first 8 names on the leaderboard, only 2 of them are done. Now, the remaining 6 have 2 holes or fewer to go. Page 2 sees everyone in the clubhouse. We have 4 4-unders, and No Seung-hee, who is the only player to have the bragging rights over Yoo Hyun-jo this season, is there or thereabouts and will be a player to watch with keen interest tomorrow. We're not quite at Championship Sunday yet. We are setting it up, certainly, and will continue to do so after the break. back to work, but in the home stretch. 2 holes to go. The final par 4 of the round for Hong Jung-min as she looks to build upon her advantage. It's a 9-iron, 118 meters out up the hill, and basically gets it to stick right where she lands. Pitching wedge for Yoo Hyun-jo. And she will be definitely in the fight for closest to the pin. Nothing for any of the 3 members of the group to be disappointed about. She would love EA1 to go 2 for 2 after patiently waiting to end the dry spell. And now Park Hae-jun, 98 meters. Couldn't get it to stay on the green. Next tee shot is also of the solid variety. And on the 17th green, Hong Jung-min is ready. 7.5 meters, slim chance. Gives it a good crack. You can generally tell how well people are putting by how consistently they're at least level with the pin on those mid to long range putts, and she certainly has her touch about her, Hong Jung-min. She's through 17 holes and has one last chance to make it a 2-stroke lead. From off the back, tracking and falling in. A highlight reel finish for Park Hae-jun with 2 birdies in her last 3 holes, and 7 of them on the round. Would have been a 65 if not for a pair of bogeys. She goes into a tie for 3rd with Yoo Hyun-jo. EA1 hoping to join her at that mark in about 10 minutes time. Can she get it done? .9 meters for birdie. Yoo Hyun-jo grazes the edge of the cup, but it's not enough to make the difference. She'll settle for a par. as more strokes are taken closer to this point. We see Yang Yun So. That's an important hole, as if she pars, which is this putt or the next, she should qualify for tomorrow. She has lost the distinction of the low amateur and just about at least took a piece of it back. It's time for 57th. She's done enough. Yang Yun So and Isian will both be qualified for the weekend. It's despite 2 double bogeys in the first 2 holes, starting +4 and trying to scratch and claw her way back. Fortunately, she shot a 69 yesterday, but it is a bit of a fall from grace, down 60 spots. The main thing for her is that she'll still be in contention, albeit in the slightest possible way, tomorrow. Well, that is a 2-putt par at 17. Kwon So-yeon, who shot a 68 in the opening round, she's still +1. Yoo-Hyun Jo avoids a bogey. 17 holes down, 1 to go. Hong Jung-min to begin 18. She is 494 meters away from being done for the afternoon. The A1 with an up to be proud of. Kwon So-yeon following in the footsteps. That's 2 for 2. Yulin trying to set up a birdie. It would take her to 6 under. She heads back towards the supporters, who will have one of the best seats in the house. And Yoo-Hyun Jo reached for a little more. Some extra torque sends her a long way down the fairway. So Reem. This would be a career best finish for her. Now she still has 19 holes to go, so we don't want to get too carried away. Best in her career to this point, tied for 5th at the Lotte Open earlier this season. So had a T16 at the Korea Women's Open Golf Championship earlier this season as well. The way she's playing, there is an opportunity to grab a first career podium. Down to the 18th and final hole in round number 2. Back to wrap it up after the break.
저기 있어.
Well, a false alarm. We're not going anywhere. And why would we? Our groups are still ready. Well, she's just making sure that she can have a full backswing. If she couldn't, she would be allowed to take it to that spray-painted circle that you see. So that's the cause for this slight delay. Hong Jung-min says, I'm not going to reach the green. Why don't I just play my second now? However, few miscues topped that a little bit and sent that with a mini slice out into the rough. Eileen ready to go. That's really, really well done. Kept the arm straight. Didn't try to overdo it, underdo it. Just the perfect shot, really, from that close to a hazard. Yoo Hyun Jo, no such troubles with shot number 2. Well, EA1 with this putt finished the day tied for 3rd, depending on Yoo Hyun Jo. She wouldn't be worse than 3rd. provisional podium through 2 rounds. It's 5.3 meters. That last birdie didn't quite reignite the flame enough. So she'll tap in for the par, and when she looks back on how today went, she'll be disappointed that it's only a 70. Knowing she could have done a little bit more, but ultimately tied for 5th within a few strokes. Win number 4 is still there for the taking tomorrow. So Hwami in the exact same boat as one would have been. Another solid outing. 68-69 in her first 2 rounds. She is all smiles as she is on pace for the best result of her career thus far. We know the last 18 are the hardest, but she should absolutely celebrate what she's done in the first 2 rounds of this tournament. To secure this round of '71, if my maths are correct. Stay inside the top 10. She's got it there. 71, beg your pardon. Is what I had said. 70 is what we were after. 69-70 T7, 5 under. 2/3 of the way through this tournament. Green is clear, and it's time to go. Kwon So-yeon furthest from the pin. First shot from our final group. Leaves a little bit to be desired. It's a bit too shallow. Hong Jung-min from the rough, 107. Despite losing the ability to really manipulate that the way she wanted to, she delivers a solid approach from the taller grass.
플레이하겠습니다.
is Yoo Hyun Jo, parked on the fringe. "23 hours from now, this walk will be met with a packed back gallery. The pressure will be significantly higher. We ask ourselves what it could mean for Hong Jung-min. Chasing a third win of the season, a fourth in her career. $216 million one payday for the winner. Not bad for 3 days work. Works out to be about $151,000, 130 euro, or 113 pounds. To the runner-up will go 132 million one and 96 million for P3. Yoo Hyun Jo, who of course is in the running to finish as one of the players of the year. Be a second win of the season. Only turned pro in November of 2023. One win this year, the major championship, the KB Financial Group Star Championship. 3 times the runner-up, 3 times P3, and as mentioned, 16 times in the top 10. And what about Kwon So-yeon? It's a different feeling to start the day when she was the co-leader. It's been a bit more topsy-turvy. 5 bogeys, 3 birdies. Currently +2, just hanging on to the top 20. .3 meters, just about an impossible putt. Factor in the break and the change in elevation. She turned pro in 2022, and that year she had 2 runner-up finishes, one at a major championship. She is still chasing that elusive first victory. She's only won 1 event that we have on the record. That was back on the Dream Tour, the grand final in 2021. All right. Hong Jung-min looking at her birdie. This will break hard right to left. It's downhill, it's quick, and follows that crescent-shaped path. What that is fantastic news for Lee Dong-eun and the rest of the chasing pack. The best she can do is finish 9 under. That is conditional, of course, on that next putt falling. And Joe's decided, I'm going to putt this. The back left fringe starts to move, but runs out of speed in the process. She did all of her birdieing on the front nine, 1, 8, and 9. Otherwise, 15 pars on a very solid day for a player where solid and consistent are the two best ways to describe her this season. Par saves have been her undoing today. Taking a big hit with all the bogeys. Would love to change that here. Finishes Saturday with the par, and there you see the up and down nature of the round. 37 out and in. -2. Tied for 18th after 2 rounds of golf. Is this a preview of tomorrow? Hong Jung-min, the last golfer on the course. Par to keep the lead at 1. Well, she's 2/3 of the way to etching her name in the history books. This brand new tournament. Birdies at 4, 7, 10, 11, and 15. And 13 pars to go along with it. She is your leader after 36 holes of play at the 88. So just time to run through the highlights before we say goodbye for the afternoon. And we will pick things up on hole number 3. 2 under after 18 holes. Even to this point in the day. Wouldn't last particularly long, would it? Park Hae-jun jarring it from the opposite side of the green. 7 where we head next, the 142-meter par 3. Tee shot to about 2.5 meters, and Lee Dong-eun would move to 3 under. Par, par, birdie, par, birdie, par, birdie. She'd love to continue that trend, and let's be honest, she pretty much did. Absolutely electric outing today. This was another opportunity to show off how the wedges were working. Left herself with a lot to do still, but read that like a children's book. It was her 4th birdie on the way out to a 32. It would be a little bit quieter on the way in. We'll see those birdies shortly. Before we get there, though, we do want to rightfully pay some attention to our leader, Hong Jung-min, who had birdied the par 5 4th as well, before adding another on the par 3. She would go out with a 34 and 9. Interesting hole 9, wasn't it? With a front-located pin placement on a 356-meter challenging hole, despite the distance. We didn't see a ton of birdies made. Lee Dae-yeon, Yoo Hyun-jo, and Park Hae-jun spring to mind right away. But even Park Ju-young, Song Eun-ah, No Sung-hee, within that top 12, all struggling to solve it. And we go to 9 next. At this point in the round, a co-leader. 5 players had been in 6 under. Was until that changed, and it changed pretty quick. Heading towards the back nine, Hong Jung-min really started to deliver. Mid to long range putts, one of the ways you can separate yourself from the field, and that's exactly what she had done. Birdied the 10th, co-leader at 7 under, and she would provide this really layup to herself with a little bit of lady luck. Hit the fringe, kick towards the sand, but instead of finding the bunker, it trampoline back onto the green. Should be able to knock down that putt. Aesthetically, this was my favorite shot of the day. Lee Dong-eun on 14, almost like a tiptoe. Encroaching, encroaching, encroaching until finally falling for the birdie at the 14th. That's where she would stop for the day. 4 pars on the way in from there. Next, Yoo Hyun-jo. She would just miss, end up getting up and down for par. 16 where we go next. Centimeters away from draining that for an eagle from off the green, and that's with the howling tailwind. We'll go to 15 where Hong Jung-min would find one final birdie, and you wouldn't think so based on this shot, but alas, from off the green, unbelievable. No absence or no additional drama required. Hong Jung-min shoots a bogey-free 67 in this second round. Lee Dong-eun just couldn't quite keep up at the end. As mentioned, 4 straight pars after that brilliant birdie at 14. She finishes one off. And on the theme of holeouts, marvelous. 7 under, So-gyo-rin, Park Hae-jun, Yoo Hyun-jo. They're all tied for 3rd after 36 holes, and one of the reasons for that, pretty good up from Yoo Hyun-jo at 17, but the putt was too quick. She left the flag in knowing she was going to try to putt through the break. She wasn't perfectly aligned. It would cost her. Hong Jung-min had a chance to go to 10 under, but in the end, she would settle for par. 135 strokes after 36 holes. 9 under is the score to par, and 1 is the advantage. Yoo Hyun-jo, this was her final attempt to go level with Lee Dong-eun. She had birdies at 1, 8, and 9, and then 9 pars in a row. She finishes 7 under after 36. So time to sign off for the afternoon from beautiful Yongin. Tomorrow we will crown a first ever champion of this tournament. Hong Jung-min will be sitting in pole position to start the afternoon. Anyone in that top 6, heck, you could even stretch that out to the top 10, you'd say, are in with a shot. Park Ju-young showed what she could do when she would get the wedges playing. If EU Lean could have knocked off a couple of bogeys, she'd be right there or thereabouts. Same for Park Hae-jun. She, in fact, would have been tied for the lead if not for 2 back 9 bogeys. EA1 was quiet today. If she can bring her A game tomorrow, she might have something to say about the outcome. And as you just saw, the projected cut line +2. So at least at the moment, the unofficial results, of course, things can always change. 63 players from 108 in the field will be joining us tomorrow. We'll start our broadcast 1 hour earlier for the final round, as is tradition, to ensure we have enough time for any potential playoffs and the awards ceremony at the 88. And we hope you'll join us for it. The inaugural K-Food Nolboo Hwami Masters. It's so long for today, and we'll see you tomorrow for Championship Sunday.